Hello everyone, welcome to what may be my longest video ever. Today we are going over every figure that I've gotten in 2025, from worst to best. This figure, or this this list will include figures from previous years that I've gotten in 2025. And this will also include non-Transformers figures. With, for example, one of them, well, this is my only non-Transformer figure, but this guy. So yeah, there are going to be a few other cases like that, but for the most part, this will be Transformers. So yeah. Oh shit, I'm dropping a few things. That's not good. That's not a good sign already. Oh yeah, and I have to say this. Today is day 31, and our final video, part of my Advent Calendar playlist, which I'm releasing today. So, there's going to be a full playlist of every video I've done in December. So, yeah. With that being said, let's go into the worst figure of 2025. Or the worst figure that I've gotten in 2025. With that being, if stuff quits falling off on him, Transformers, Masters of the Universe, crossover Transformers, Skeletor. This particular figure here was one that I wanted quite badly because I have an absolute love for Skeletor. And this figure breaks my heart because of how shite he is. He is one of the few figures in my collection that I feel genuinely heartbroken by his terribleness. And it's not because he doesn't transform. It's not because you can't remove the armor. He's just terrible to me because of the simple fact that this guy here sucks as an action figure. Honestly, he sucks. The only good joint on this guy is the head. That's it. Everything else is very limited. Some joints just don't feel good to pose. That keeps falling off. He has very limited elbows. That's as far as they go. And he has some decent knees. But a lot of the stuff on this guy just doesn't feel good. He's like a very gummy feeling. The flail is nice. I like that. And you do have the option to switch it out. Or switch one of his hands out. Which is quite difficult to do. But you have the option to switch that out. Put it in there. For the flail. Which is cool and all. But all of this just doesn't feel great. I'm happy I have them, yes, because before Transformers for me, Masters of the Universe was the shit for me as a kid. I loved Masters of the Universe as a kid. So when I heard that they're doing a collaboration with one of my favorite brands, being the Transformers, with one of my very first brands that I fell in love with, Masters of the Universe, I was excited. I was enthralled with it. Just to find out that, I had faith. I had faith that these guys would be good. And some of them are. I've seen the He-Man one. He looks decent. But for the most part, these guys just don't feel great. With Skeletor being the only one I've handled so far, I can't say much about the others. But I don't like how Skeletor handles too much. He feels... Ooh! Yeah, that keeps happening with him. That too. A lot of the stuff on him does not want to stay together. I'm kind of saddened by that because... Skeletor don't like to stand. And he's not terrible to me because he doesn't transform or because he's not a full Transformer. Would I've loved to have gone a Skeletor Transformer? Oh, you bet your shit I would have loved that. I would have bought that immediately. No, it's the fact that Skeletor here falls short as an action figure alone. Because a lot of action figures, they pose really well. Skeletor here, his best looking pose are just the static poses. Let's say, he doesn't look great in actual poses. He doesn't look too good to me. And you'll see more of that when I do his own proper review in the future. But it's there in his QC's kind of His chest paint right here is not even aligned on the bones properly, which sucks. So yeah, his accessories are nice though. Comes with a decent selection. He has this fusion cannon that turns into his staff, just like so. And the slots slide in on his forearm right here. You can undersling him though. Let's say sticks better when it's on. Nope, never mind. And the figure alone, it just feels gummy. It don't feel great. The plastic they use doesn't feel awesome to me. So yeah, the accessories are nice though. I love the details that they've given these. These look great. They just don't feel great. Flail's pretty nice though. But yeah. So with number 1 out of the way, let's get into number 2. And this figure isn't bad. It's a good mold. But number 2 is Legacy Evolution Medics. This figure is only here because of the fact that his QC is terrible. The main thing that I have as an issue with this guy is the fact that he does not want to hold together in robot mode. And it's not that he's a bad mold. The figure is honestly wonderful. I love the guy. It's just the fact that none of his parts here want to hold together. I get everything up here tabbed up as usual. Straighten the arms out, get all that set. First of all, his knees aren't that solid. Kind of the same situation with Vortex. But it's also the fact that the chest here does not tab in at all. Like, if all those issues right there, tolerance-wise, was fixed, I would love this guy. This figure is honestly a beautiful one. I love the colors, the paintwork. It's nice. But out of every single skids/crankcase retool and remold we've had, this is probably the worst one for me. I say, like, he looks good. Look at him. But he doesn't feel good. His QC's terrible. And it's not a joy to handle. Like, if this figure was solid, more tight, felt better, I would have bought, let's say, I would want to keep this guy. And I'm only keeping him because I like the colors. And he looks nice on a shelf. But in any other situation, I would get rid of him immediately. Which sucks to say. Because look at him. Like in any other situation, I'd want to keep him. But I feel like I don't want him. Which sucks. It sucks. This figure sucks. Not because the mold's bad. The mold's beautiful. I love the paint. I love all of it. But like I'm saying, the chests just don't tab in. And the knees aren't great. So, yeah. So, that's it for number 2. Now, number 3. My third worst figure is Age of the Prime's Soulless Prime. And it's not because she's a bad figure either. If anything, she has the same issue as Medics here. And that's only because her QC isn't great either. And actually, it's not much with QC. Almost everyone that has Soulless Prime has said the same consistent issue. It's her ankles. Her ankles are famously terrible. They don't ever want to hold together. And because of that, a lot of people just don't want to get her. That's why out of all the primes, you'll probably have the easiest time finding Soulless. And it's not because she's a bad figure. She's gorgeous. It's purely because the figure's not put together right. It don't feel great for people. And honestly, the only reason why I haven't sold her off is because I actively want to complete the primes. And I believe this would be the first proper figure of Soulless Prime we've ever gotten. And I just enjoy how Soulless looks. She looks nice with the other primes. And I've also realized the primes have like a really big thing of purple. Megatronus, highlights of purple. Alpha Trion, nothing but purple. And Soulless, nothing but purple. But the thing is, Soulless Prime here, she looks great. Look at her. She is lovely looking. Disassemble the hammer. Slide that through the hand and stuff. She looks lovely. She's an excellent figure. She poses wonderfully. But her heels, her ankles, her ankles are down here. This is her shin. I'm barely applying pressure. It's slight. I rotate this enough, bam, comes out. I utilize any joint from this, bam. Swivel once. I don't even get a full 360. 1 second. Let's get a 360. Nope, can't do a 360. How's the other one looking? About the same. You see, the ankles are the main killer of this figure. Besides that, though, everything else on this figure is nice. The figure feels great. It's purely just the ankles I don't like. And that's really just it. If the ankles were fixed, this figure would be way higher on the list. Honestly, this figure would be so much higher on the list. But the ankles just ruin it for me. Because it doesn't stay together. They're not solid. Which really sucks. Because in any other case, like I'm saying, this figure would be way higher. Way higher. But just because of how the figure is, and this is an issue with a lot of people. Most people that have Solus Prime here suffer from that issue. Which is unfortunate. Because people want to enjoy Solus Prime. She was one of the first 3 Primes to release alongside Megatronus and Prima. But she's just not great feeling. So yeah. Do I suggest you buy her? Yes. If you're seeking out a new Prime or a decently fun character, get her. But just be cautious because her ankles are fucked. They're going to come off. That's just how it's designed. Which is lame as hell. No one wants a figure that's going to just keep disassembling itself consistently. I don't want a figure that does that. I only have her because I seek to complete the rest of the Primes. No? The only Primes I'm currently missing is Micronus, Amalgamus, and Quintus. And that's from currently released. We're still waiting on Liege and Nexus. You know? I say it's a shame, too. Because she's a good figure. It's just, these ankles don't like holding in. Look at that. It's already coming out again. I do even look, see? Any other situation, she'd be perfect. But it's because that happens that this is bad. People buy a figure because it's solid. She's not. So yeah. With that being all said, we're going on to our next figure of the year. 86 Bone Crusher. This figure genuinely disappointed me. A lot. Not because it's terrible. Well, partially because it's terrible, but because I expected more out of this. The figure is lovely looking in the alt mode. The alt mode is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But it's when we go to robot mode here. And when we go to robot mode, this is where all of it starts just falling apart. It starts going to shit quickly in the robot mode. And it's his proportions. Unlike with Solus, which is just a few fixes here and there, Bone Crusher's proportions are just terrible. The legs are fine. I like the legs. The legs are good looking. But we go up to the arms here, and they're just stubby. There's no wrist rotation. They're ridiculously short compared to everything else. Like, look at them. That is not a proportion. Those are not the proportions of a Decepticon beast. Look at him. He looks like he got stung by 100 bees in the chest and made everything but his arms just puff up like a balloon. His legs are too long, his body is too puffy, and his arms are too short. The figure's fine. It does its job as an arm. It does what it needs to. But this figure feels decent. He feels good, I won't lie. His quality, feel-wise, is nice. He feels good. But his proportions are fucked. We'll just get that out of the way. His proportions are messed up. Get him in a pose, they look better. Heck, bring in these gauntlets right here. Something that I saw on Reddit recently. This guy attaches the big old Devastator gauntlets onto Bone Crusher. And I fell in love with this design. Because, holy shit. Look at him now. That's neat looking to me. I like that. But, like, that's not how he is. Look at him. He don't even have a waist swivel. It's all just one piece. And he has a hinge in here for a waist swivel. He has one. For a combined mode, though. It tabs in. It doesn't separate at all. It just tabs in. It's gone. And he has kind of an ab crunch. You have to cheat a bit of it to get it working. But he has a bit of an ab crunch. Can he hold it? No. The figure is okay. I'd say if you're going to get him on discount, though. Don't buy him full price. But knowing the aftermarket, they're going to charge a lot for him because he's a combiner component. I mean, look at... where he is. Where is he? Scrapper here. Scrapper is charged nearly triple his price on a lot of markets that I've seen him on. Which sucks. Because he's just an upscale and... No, he's a downscale, actually. He's a downscale and slight improvement of the Combiner Wars one. And we'll get into him later. This figure isn't... It's not great. We'll just say that. He's not good. I don't feel like he's worth full price. That's really it that I have to say. He just doesn't feel worth the money to me. He feels dense. I'll give him that. He feels like I put my money into him. But he doesn't pose like I put my money into him. He doesn't feel like I put my money into him. He feels He's feeling. Which sucks. Because any other case, I'd say buy him. But unless you're seeking to complete the Constructicons, don't. Just save your money. Now, for my fourth worst figure, we're actually going to be getting out of the worst now. We'll be going into good, or not good. We're going into decent. And with my fifth figure of this list, 86 RC. RC isn't a terrible figure. She's actually pretty solid. I took the fin off. It's in a bag somewhere. But that's really about it. She feels solid. She feels decent enough. I got no complaints about her, you know. She rolls okay. To be fair, she rolls better on the table mat, but she's alright. You know, I got no complaints about her alt mode. It's solid enough. I like the colors. It's a nice shade of pink. The whites are nice. The grays are nice. It's salt. Not really. The sides untab a bit. But besides the sides there, she's pretty solid in alt mode. The transformation's fun. It's involved. You know, everything goes into their own little place, like such. You know, fold the arms out, fold the head down, collapse out all in together. Shift that down, collapse, straighten the legs out, just like so, and fold the arms down. You know, you see how quick that was? That was only a few seconds. And honestly, RC feels good. She's a solid enough figure. Her heels ain't, or her heel back here, it does an okay job. There you go. You know, she's okay. Got a big backpack. Her posability is nice. Her articulation is quite good. She's solid in robot mode, you know, except for there. I'll shake her around a little bit. That midsection's probably going to get untabbed. But for the most part, she's a solid figure. Everything feels nice. The joints are nice and tight. You know, these aren't going to untab on you. The arms feel good. Everything about RC here shows the improvement that Hasbro's done. You know, she feels good. She poses well. I'd say she's worth it. I got her for $5 on Walmart. You know, I got her for a really good price. And you guys can get her for a real good price too. She's cheap pretty much everywhere. I only got her to complete the 86 shelf, and honestly, she's fun. She's solid enough. I'm happy with her. So yeah. Not much else to say about her. So with that being said, our next okay figure has to be, let's see, where is he? There he is. TF1 Prime. This figure here disappointed me a lot. But just because he disappointed me doesn't mean he's a bad figure. He's solid. He does what he needs to do. He rolls pretty well. And It's TF1 Optimus Prime. What more could I ask? We're getting a better one if that Orion Pack's coming out soon. But for the most part, he's okay. The alt mode's solid enough, Give it a shake. Feels good. Doesn't feel like it's going to break. The figure has no QC issues from what I've heard. My buddy and my brother and I, we both own a copy of this guy, and we have had zero issues with him. My figure has a breakage in the chest window right here, but that's only because he took an absolute nosedive off my table, I believe. That's the only reason why I think there's a crack in him. Because a few weeks ago, before the crack happened, he did stage dive. But like in any other case, this figure's fine. He does nothing wrong for me. He's solid enough. He poses well. He has decent articulation. He looks okay. The off gray, the yellowish gray that he naturally came with, pre-yellowed. He doesn't look great because of that. But the figure's good. It's a good figure. It's okay. I like it. It just... I don't feel happy with the money I spent on this guy. I spent quite a bit. I spent $25 on this guy. And I don't feel like I got $25 worth of a figure here. It's fun. It poses well. I like him. I'll give you that. He's lovely. But I don't exactly feel like I got my money's worth out of him. You guys ever have that feeling with some of these figures? He's nice. He does the job well enough. But I don't feel exactly happy with him. He does a decent job. I'll give him that. But if you guys are looking to get this guy, find him for cheaper than retail. Make sure there's no issues with him before you buy him. And when you do, sure. He's fine enough as a figure. He's fine enough as a standalone figure. I like him enough. I got him at retail. So yeah, not much else to say about him though. He's good. He's solid. I'm content with spending retail on him. I'm content with it. So, let's see who's next. Ooh, didn't even see you. You're hiding underneath the trailer. This figure is definitely one of these figures that belongs in this tier. The decent tier has Quake next. Quake here is honestly an okay figure. He is quite a retool of Skullgrin. Does quite a bit extra. Comes with a bit extra. Surprised they didn't bump him up to Voyager price of these extra guys here. They make decent blasters. They're okay. They painted the handles on these guys though, so the paint's already starting to chip, which sucks, but that's just the nature of it. The tank mode's okay. I like it well enough. Turns, but it won't turn while looking down, so it automatically goes up. Hooray! So yeah. The transformation's pretty involved, actually. I like it well enough. Now you come down here, spread it, untab the rest of the systems right here. Here, it's quite an involved transformation. I enjoy it because of it. Ooh! Got everything there. There you go. Straighten everything out. Grab this, flip it out. Rotate that down. And some of y'all might be asking, oh, Monke, why is Quake here? As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm including figures that I got in 2025. Vector Prime and Quake were two figures I got mid-January this year. So that's why they're here. And that's why you'll see other figures like Evolution Medics. Or, in a little bit, Kingdom Red Alert. Because those are both figures I got this year. Both of which at my local Walgreens. So yeah. Quake here, though, looks wonderful. One thing I found out you could do with him is, let's see, push his head back, and, oh, shit. And when you push his head back, you unlock the ball joint a little more, so you can get actual movement out of the head now. You can get him to look up, look down, side to side. You get more articulation when you push his neck, his ball joint, to the front of the face instead of in the ball joint. Because when it's in the ball joint, it's much more restrictive. So when you push it back, like so, you can get him to look up, look down, side to side. That's something I found out about him. So that's neat. Quake here, though, honestly looks decent. He has a good robot mode. The tank mode was a little but the robot mode's nice. Honestly, I like it a lot. It's beautiful. No, it looks like Quake to me. It poses well. His articulation's nice. Would I pay retail for him again? Sure. Honestly, I would. Heck, I would pay a little over retail for him. He's a solid enough figure to me. I like him. I like him a lot. He feels great. He poses well. You know? Now, one thing I do wish he came with his own blaster. Because I'm happy that he came with these guys a lot. Honestly, I am. And they make decent blasters. But I do kind of wish he came with his own blasters. You know? So yeah. With the Quake being over, let us go into our next figure. We are now going into the good category. This is figures that aren't great or astonishing, but good. So at least they won't be in the shit or decent category. With our first figure of the good category, we get Kingdom Red Alert. This figure here is... Oh, he's rolling. Alright. Kingdom Red Alert here is a retool of the Siege Sideswipe mold. Okay, so there's just a natural tilt downward over here on my side of the house. Good to know. Is he going to start tilting again? Let's see. No? Okay. Kingdom Red Alert here, though, is a retool of Siege Sideswipe. Or, I guess, a retool of Kingdom Sideswipe, who is, on their own, a retool of Siege Sideswipe. So, you know, retool of a retool of a retool. Stuff like that. Kingdom Red Alert here, though, is a lovely repaint and retool with an additional siren. The retool part is when we see the head. Everything else here, though, is nice. The paint job's lovely. I love the metallic teal that he came with. The paint apps on this guy are lovely. There he goes rolling again. Hooray! His accessories are quite nice, actually. I enjoy the missile pod and blaster quite a bit. Both have beautiful sculpting. And honestly, do a good job of filling out the price. The transformation is quite simple, actually, which is something I enjoy. I love simple but fun transformations. To be fair, I also like complex and fun transformations. With a few transformers we'll see in a little bit, you'll see exactly what I mean when I say it. No? In just a few seconds, though, we go from vehicle to robot pretty quickly. And honestly, for play factor, that's cool. As a kid, I wish I had transformers that could flip from one thing to another quick. And we get that with the Kingdom Sideswipe with the Siege Sideswipe mold, and eventually Kingdom Sideswipe. We get that with this mold as a whole. And with this guy, I honestly enjoy it a lot. Red Alert here is fun. He's well articulated, he poses well, his tolerances are actually really nice. I enjoy how he feels. He feels like hand candy, which there's not many figures I could say feel like that. But yet Kingdom Red Alert, even years later, when I bought him at my local Walgreens, he feels great. He poses well. He's solid. I like him a lot because of that. He does everything he needs to do quite well, and I appreciate that. So yeah. You know what? We'll bump him up a category. You don't belong in the good tier. You belong in the great tier. But we're going back to the good tier now. With our next figure being... Let's see, where is he? There he is! TF1 Bumblebee. Oh, shit. TF1B here is fine. He does a decent enough job at what he's supposed to do. I like him enough. There you go. Had to readjust the camera. I like him enough. The alt mode's nice. The figure feels good. The transformation's pretty simple. You know, take these off. You untab the arms. You'll pull down the legs, straighten everything out. A lot of it's in the legs. You just gotta straighten the legs out. And the legs actually are quite involved for this transformation. A lot of the parts are involved. And I like that a lot. I like when everything has something to do. The figure's solid. It's nice. I'd take it over some TF1 Prime any day. Which TF1 Prime, no, he does a good job. He does what he needs to. But TF1 Bumblebee is just fun. And that's what I seek out of a figure most. I seek a good, well-articulated, fun figure. And that's just what I appreciate out of a lot of these. I appreciate this. I like that he comes with a blaster. I like that he has all these little accessories and doodads. He feels good. He feels well worth the money to me. He feels chunky, fun, and well put together. I enjoy the colors. I enjoy the sculpt work. I enjoy all the little details and knickknacks you get with him. He's fun. He's a good figure. There's not much else I could say. He's decent at what he does. So yeah, that's really about it. I like him. So yeah. Now, this one is in the good category because it's good, but that doesn't mean it's not disappointing. So, may I introduce you all to... One second, if all the parts want to get back on this damn thing. Give me just a moment. Jesus, tab back in. There you go. So may I introduce you all to Commander Class, Long Haul, who's already starting to roll for some reason, and Hook. These two figures here are good. They are good figures, like really good. But they're also very disappointing, which is why they're only in the good category. Because they could have been great, but they weren't. So that's why they're here. These two figures had a lot of potential, and honestly, they did quite a bit with their budget. No, this all is parts for Devastator, which we'll get that out. Since we're not here to talk about Devastator, we're here to talk about these two goobers, which honestly do a fine enough job. I just feel like I was a little ripped off when it came to the Commander price budget. You know, they could have done a lot more with these guys. With Commander classes, we have a very involved transformation. Yet these guys just do the bare minimum. Now, do I enjoy the Long Haul? Yes, Long Haul is probably one of my top 5 figures of the year. Not because any of the others are bad, but because Long Haul does something that I love. A very simple, fun, and unique transformation. Or maybe not unique, but it results in a very unique robot mode. Long Haul here is one of them bots that has a very unique looking alt mode. Not alt mode, damn. Robot mode. He's fun, he's chunky. I like his proportions. But that doesn't mean he makes it to the greatest figures. I only say he's top 5 because, well, he's fun. I get joy out of Long Haul's transformation. But I also have to look at this objectively. Out of all these figures I have here, for the budget and price that I've spent on this guy, which I spent a little more than Commander Class, I spent $99 on these guys because finding them at retail just wasn't going to happen. These guys here aren't $99, nor are they $98 or $89. These guys aren't the prices that people pay. They're fun, I'll give you that. They're fun, but they're not Commander Class fun. I would have gladly paid Leader Class price for Long Haul and this chunk than Voyager Class price for this, which, in perspective, comes out to Commander Class price, 30 plus 50. But, I mean, with taxes, it'll probably bring it up to more to about 90 or so, huh? But either way, like these lads, they're fun. I like them as is, but they don't feel worth the Commander price to me. Like this guy has the engineering of a deluxe class, and so does this guy. They make a killer Devastator, and Long Haul is killing it here. He's the main reason why I bought this pack. Not because of Devastator, not because of Hook. I bought this pack because I was genuinely interested in how Long Haul handled. Long Haul is carrying this pack for me. He's the reason why I didn't just give up on Devastator immediately after. I got Hook, I got Bone Crusher. I wanted to complete Devastator at first, but then I handled Hook, and he felt terrible. He's decent as is. You'll hear more about him in his own review. But Long Haul here was the one that really brought it together for me. And then when I combined them all into Devastator, I'm only missing Scavenger, so I had both legs and an arm ready. So when I started putting all that stuff together, I was loving how this guy was feeling. This guy feels great. This one, he feels But when I put them all together into Devastator, that's where I realized a lot of this budget goes. A lot of this budget as a team goes towards Devastator. They go towards as good of a Devastator as possible. And honestly, with what I have so far, Devastator feels wonderful. I just don't think these figures altogether are Commander class. They're good. I'll give you that. They're good figures. But they don't feel like they belong in the Commander class. So yeah. Who's next? Oh, Air Raid. Next up is Air Raid. This figure here, and this mold overall, I don't have, what's his name? Not Slingshot. We have Air Raid, Slingshot, Silverbolt. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. Skydive! I didn't even need to look it up that time. Almost did. Firefly's the red one. Skydive. With Skydive being a retool, and one I don't have, unfortunately, I can't say too much else about how this mold feels, but I will say how it feels with this guy. It feels okay, you know? The jet mode's nice, the underside's terrible, but just the nature of a jet former. Though, to be fair, with Slingshot over here, they killed it with his jet mode. It looks beautiful. Well, with Air Raids here, it's like, ooh, what happened? You know, Air Raid has a decent enough transformation, though. I like it. You know, you just untab everything, push in the landing gear, flip out the hands, and fold out the arms like so. Turn around the head. Then you want to flip these tail wings back here up. And you basically just unhinge everything out. And honestly, that's a fine enough transformation for a deluxe class. Especially a combiner limb. No, I like him. He's charming enough. You know? But that's really about it. That's all he does. He stands there. He looks nice. He feels okay. He's alright. I don't have much to say about him. No, there's not much that speaks to me about this design. It's okay. I like it as is. But I also only really got him for the combiner. And even then, I'm not sure if I'll be able to complete it because everyone's charging ridiculous prices for Skydive. Fireflight's still pretty cheap. He's going close to retail. Skydive's just overpriced to all hell. Alrighty, I'm back. I had to do something. Can't remember what I was saying about this guy. I think I was getting close to finishing up anyways, so we'll just call it there. Now, for the next figure in the good category, one that was really overhyped for me is Legacy United Cosmos. This figure and this mold overall was not worth the scalper prices. It was definitely not worth having to hunt down a Legacy United version. The figure's okay. It's fine. I like it. He poses decently. He looks good. But I feel bad for people that paid scalper prices for this guy. Because he's not all that. Everyone paid such a ridiculous price for this guy. You know, he's okay. No, he's not great. He's good. I'll give you all that. He's good. He's a good figure. But that's really it. He's fine. You know, he does what he needs to do. He looks nice. I love all of his yellow. I love the green. I love all this. But people paid way too much for this guy. And I feel bad for those that paid scalper prices. No, everyone made him sound like he was the greatest thing known to man. No, they made him sound like he was a godsend. But like, no, he's not. He's okay. He gives the same energy I get from Legacy Beachcomber. No, Beachcomber was in a bit of a similar boat. Not to the extent of Cosmos. You know, Cosmos was a Walmart exclusive for quite a while before Legacy United came around in their last wave. Released Tarn, Galaxy Shuttle, Ramjet, Origins Bumblebee, Cosmos here. They also released a G2 Breakdown, so that's out there. But, like, Cosmos isn't all that. He's okay. He's a good figure. But he's not what everyone made him out to be. When I finally got my hands on him, I'm happy with him. You know, I'm happy. He's okay. He's fun. But I expected the greatest thing known to mankind out of this figure because of all of the bullshittery around this guy. And people overhyped him for me, you know? I'm disappointed with him. People overhyped the fuck out of this guy. And because of that, I'm left disappointed with him. He's good, but he's no better than good. That's all I have to say. He's no better than good. I got this guy as a gift. And I feel bad for the people that... I feel bad for my family. They spent $25 on this guy for me as a gift, and I don't feel happy with it. But yeah, I got nothing else to say about Cosmos. No. Give him a 360 around the spinning table, but that's really it. You know, people overhyped him for me. I'm not terribly disappointed with him, but I did expect more out of him, you know? Alright, who's next? Ooh, the final figure for our good category. We'll get him out of the way. We don't want him in the great category, do we? Scrapper. Scrapper's a good figure, honestly. People shat on him a lot. And honestly, I don't blame all yous. You know? For a Voyager price point, you know, we got... Oh, shit. We got the combiner gun. We got this lovely little knick-knack here. Then we got Scrapper, you know? His alt mode's solid. It's nice looking. I'm happy with it. They went with a good shade of green. On the camera, it looks like it's getting absolutely blasted. But that's because directly above you guys is my light. My main light for this room. So, that's why Scrapper's out here getting Hiroshima'd, you know? You know, he's just blasting everything. But Scrapper here is honestly... He's overhated to me. No. He was the very first member of the Devastator that I got. I'm content with him. Honestly, he's lovely. I like him. Let's see. He's probably the second best member, in my personal opinion. Or no, third best. Because then we have Mixmaster, then Long Haul. Long Haul's the best Constructicon to me. I'll just say that as is. He's definitely the best to me. There you go. Collapse all that. But that doesn't mean Scrapper's terrible. He's third best, so I'll give him that. And I don't have Scavenger, so I can't say how good he is. But I'm assuming he'd at least be fourth best. Because anything beats Hook and Bone Crusher, you know. Scrapper here, though, is nice. I enjoy him a lot. He has a nice aesthetic. I love the purple. I love the silver, the red. All these little details on his chest. They look nice. The head sculpt's lovely. He feels well worth the price to me. He's good. He's solid. He's durable. Though the ankle pivot for combined mode is really tight, especially compared to Mixmaster, which we'll get into him later on in the video, but compared to Mixmaster, this is ridiculously tight. And I think that really sucks. Because it's because of that ratchet joint in there that we don't have a waist swivel in either of the lads. Mainly with this guy, though, because of how ridiculously strong that ratchet joint is. And I wouldn't be bringing that up unless it was a negative, which in this case, it is. It feels way too tight to bend. It feels too tight to use, and I fear that I'm going to watch it just explode out of my hand one of these days. Because that's usually how it goes with these guys. They usually just kaboom, you know, that type of stuff, which really sucks. I fear that's going to happen. And knowing my luck, it probably will. You know, Slag, somewhere over there on that pile of figures, Slag over there, one of his knees exploded. That was just because of poor parts, though, so I can't say much on him. I have faith in this figure, though. The figure's solid. I like him well enough, and I gladly paid retail for him. He feels worth the money to me. I'm happy with him. Depends on your guys' preferences, though, you know? I got him at first because he's a leader of a, what's the proper term? Subgroup, you know? He's a member of the Decepticons, but he's the leader of his subfaction, that's what it is. He's the leader of his subfaction of Constructicons, which is pretty cool. I like it. So yeah, that finishes off the good category. Or wait. No, it doesn't. Because we got 2 more figures that I believe should go into the good category. With our first one, or I guess our second to last one now, Legacy United Vector Prime. Oh, shit. Get out of there, buddy. There you go. Had that put down so he could sit on the shelf better. Vector Prime here is a retool of G-Axis. And a decent one at that. I like him enough. He's good looking. I love all the greeblings and stuff. He looks nice. He's in the good category because I just personally enjoyed him a lot. Even with all the QC issues that people have had, myself included, mine literally came without the wings. But for the most part, even with all those issues and flaws, I still really enjoy him. He's fun to me. He feels solid. He feels worth the money. Mostly. He has his issues, and, if I buy a figure for $35, I expect no issues. But even with these issues, it doesn't ruin the figure entirely for me. I'm content with him. He's fun enough to me. He's honestly nice. He's nice to handle. People might give me shit. Oh, why do you like him but not Cosmos? I like Cosmos too. I tend to like the lesser figures a little more though. I like the more obscure figures. They're fun. Vector Prime here though was hated when he first released. Not because he was also because he was a retool of G-Axis, but because a lot of people wanted Vector Prime, this major character in just the lore of Transformers as a whole, to have its own mold. And honestly, I don't blame him. From recent hearings, though, I've heard that Vector Prime from Age of Primes won't be getting a new mold, but instead will just be a re-release of this guy. And if that's true, I just hope they fix the QC issues. Because honestly, this guy's fine. I like him as is. He looks good. He's aesthetically pleasing. I have him next to all my other Primes on the shelf. I will after this video, too. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him being a retool of G-Axis. He looks good while doing it. Get some retooling on the legs, switch the wires out for cogs, and I'm happy. That's it. That's my one complaint. Well, besides the missing pieces right here, but my one complaint is the fact that these are wires. Switch those wires out for cogs or like little timepieces and stuff, and that's it. That's all I need. I'm happy. The figure's good. It's made from a great mold. The only reason why he's not in great is because of his terrible QC. Besides that, though, the figure is wonderful to me. I love him. I got the same day I got Quake. I ordered them from the same seller. And, yeah, I'm happy with him. He's good. So, that leaves, let's see, who does that leave? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. The More Than Meets the Eye collection, Perceptor, and Ratbat. Perceptor, Ratbat, and Ramhorn. These 3 guys came in a 3-pack. Actually, you can see his box. Let's see. There it is. That's his box right down there. These guys right here were a bitch to get. I'm just going to say it as such. It was a fucking pain getting these guys. I wanted this because I liked how the new Perceptor looked. And I also wanted Blaster's cassette and Soundwave's cassette. With the recent leak of 86 Soundwave at the time, and with 86 Blaster finally releasing to the mass retail instead of just Target, I wanted to take the opportunity to try and get myself a Ramhorn and a Ratbat as nice companion pieces. And this is before I realized Perceptor here is actually a slight retool. So he has a bulkier chest. His QC is fixed. All of his issues that I had with the original one, with some parts being too loose and some parts just looking a little bare, they fixed with this guy. And honestly, I appreciate that a lot. It's nice. I'm happy to have this. I'm content with this figure. Out of all the figures I've ever owned, this is one I genuinely enjoy because of the fact that they fixed all the issues that the original one had, made him look nice, switched out the paint, made him just look fucking gorgeous, by the way. He looks great. And then they just gave us 2 cassettes for fun. Which, honestly, if you're going to get rid of Core Class, I'm happy they're still making just individual cassettes. They're not being sold individually, but I'm happy they're taking time to fill in the blanks. 86 Soundwave gives us Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, and Ravage. Perceptor here gave us Ramhorn and Ratbat. And Blaster gives us Eject. And now, obviously, before Core Class, bit the bullet, we also had figures like 86 Wheelie, Spike, and another cassette bot, and a few other cassette bots, Rumble, Frenzy, and Steeljaw. But just like taking a look at everything here, totaled up, he was not worth the extra money. He's great. I love him. He's a good figure. He's a really good figure. That's why he's at the top of the good tier. This is a great figure. Maybe not great. Great is our next tier, but he is a good figure. I genuinely appreciate all the fixes that they did for this guy. They got rid of the hollow gap. They added hinge. They beefed his chest up some more. They gave him 2 cassettes that we wanted, or at least Ramhorn. I'm not sure if many people want a new Ratbat, but we got one. I'm happy with this. Also, I'm sorry if I sound like shit right now. The more I talk, the more dry my throat gets. Just the nature of everything. Excuse me. Having the hiccups, apparently. Damn. Yeah. Blaster here is in the good category because that's just exactly what he is. He's a good figure. So, that being said, let's get into the great category. Starting this category off, we start off with yesterday's review, Flatline. Flatline here is a repaint and a very slight retool of Age of the Primes. Red Alert. Sorry, I was blinking on a name there. He is a slight retool of Red Alert, which is a figure I haven't handled, but is one that I liked the look of. So, me liking how Red Alert looked, I wanted to get my hands on Flatline. And as you can tell, he's lovely. The figure is solid. Nothing's fallen out. Rolls quite well, Does a little spin. Feels good. The elbow's nice. Not much kibble to see. So yeah. Transformation's pretty simple too, Bring the legs down, you straighten everything out. Flip out the heel if it wants to. Come on. Okay, I guess we're not doing the heels. I clipped my nails recently, so it's just difficult getting a lot of these parts out. So if you see me struggle with some figures, that's just why. Some parts are harder to do than others. But yeah, so this figure is honestly just nice. It's solid. It's well put together. I don't regret buying this at all. Well, that's a lie. I do. I only, like I mentioned in yesterday's review, I only got him because I didn't want my whole walk to GameStop to be for nothing. Because it's a 30-minute walk too, then another 30-minute walk back. And it's only 30 minutes because you have to go up this steep-ass hill. And I'm a big back. So going up that hill is like, it's like a damn mountain for me. But, he's in the great category because of the mold. He has some issues. The joints are way too tight in some spots. The elbow joint's too tight. The knees are getting a little looser for me, though, so I'm happy with that. But, well, maybe not that one. That one takes a lot of force to bend. Damn. But for the most part, the figure is nice. He looks great. If his QC was a little better, I'd absolutely love this guy. Because I see what they're doing with this guy. And I love what I see what they're doing with. Okay, we're bumping him down a tier. He's underneath Perceptor on this one. He's in the good category. The more I'm talking about this guy, the more I realize he's not great. He's good. He's a good figure. He doesn't feel fully worth the price to me. But I'm also not going to argue if you say this figure deserves to be higher. Because if he had better QC and tolerance and his joints were a little smoother, he would be in great. Don't get me wrong. But my copy and my personal experience with this guy isn't the greatest. So we'll bump him down to good. He's underneath Perceptor. So with that being said, let's start off this great category now. With the first proper great figure being Age of the Prime's Wasp. This guy was honestly a joy. I liked Bumblebee a lot. No, he was a great mold. I just didn't like the colors or the head sculpt too much. So after I found out that we were getting a Waspinator, I was like, ooh, yes sir, yeah. And look at him. He has a killer alt mode. I love it. The accessories are nice. The transformation's fun and simple, you know? You want to tap the arms, get him out of here. Just start. Bunch of just rotating, rotate, fold, rotate, and fold. No, shift, rotate, fold, fold. No, just a bunch of folding, rotating, clipping in. All these different mechanisms and swings of the motion. No, pull this out, rotate. See, another rotation. Flip out the knees. Rotate that down. Flip up, rotate all the way. Flip up the knee pads. Finally, that just leaves the heels back here. Bam, and come on, come on. Bam. See? Grab this, plug it in right there. Grab this and plug it in right there. Look at this guy. He's cool looking. He's lovely. I love how he looks. He's awesome. You know? Look at them. I love the colors. The lime is great. The purple looks beautiful. This tealish green that they used for him is wonderful. The paintwork on him is just beautiful. The figure's proportions are great. I honestly enjoy him. And for my first figure in the great category, he earns it. I love him. I love him dearly. It's a great mold. I don't regret buying him. I didn't buy him, actually. This was another gift. He was gifted to me the same day I got Solus Prime as a gift. They were both gifted to me by my auntie. Because they went up to Spokane, and they found both of these guys for a good deal. So I got both of these guys. And I like them. I love them a lot. They're wonderful. I don't regret buying them. I didn't buy them. I keep saying I did, but I didn't. I didn't buy this guy. And I'm happy I was gifted him. He's beautiful. Look at them. Look at the little guy. Look at him. He's nice. I feel like I got my money's worth with him. Or, not mine, but I do feel like it was money well spent. You know, my aunt bought him for me. And honestly, I'm happy that she did. This guy, I love this guy. So yeah, our next figure in the great category is Slingshot. This is the first Age of the Primes figure I got. That was the first one that I bought of, well, not the first figure I bought of 2025. That honor goes to 86 Prime, which y'all will be seeing way later. But this figure is honestly nice. He's lovely. I love him dearly. He's great. He feels good. The alt mode is beautiful. The underside, you can barely tell there's a robot besides the chest here. Everything just looks nice on him. You know, the transformation's fun, simple. You know, fold these back, flip this down, fold up, pull out, shift upward, collapse, separate, pull back, push in, pull the arms out, straighten, pull the arms out, straighten, rotate the head, grab your blasters, ooh! Now you just put them in the forearms. And that's just it. That's all you need to do. And honestly, I love it. Look at him. He's a lovely figure. He does everything he needs to do perfectly. He has a good alt mode. He has a great robot mode. You know, butt cheek head. You know, looks like two oranges just like put together, man. It looks good though. I like it. The alt mode's nice. The figure, it looks beautiful. I appreciate it a lot. It's great. So yeah, not much else to say about this guy, honestly. I like him a lot. He looks beautiful. I have no complaints. And that's really it. No complaints. He earned his spot in the great category. I'll be back. I need water, dude. All right, I'm back. Got my Kirkland water. We're going to get some hydration, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Ugh, that feels much better. Now, like I was saying, This figure does everything I could ever want out of just a Transformer. He's simple, he's fun, he does everything he needs. The all modes look beautiful in the end. There's not much else to say. It's just simple greatness. I seek that out of a figure. So yeah. With that being said, let's go into our next one. Our next figure in the great category has to be Alchemist Prime. Alchemist Prime is a simple joy to handle. Some parts are a little tighter than others, but he has some lovely accessories that he can put together into the spectacles, which are nice. I like it. Oh, no! I dropped the other one. Oh, no. Gotta grab it with my toes. As a kid, I used to grab a lot of things with my feet, so this is like just unnaturally good. Damn! There you go. I like these, though. These are some beautiful accessories. Oh, come on, peg back together. We also have some symbols on the crests right here. One symbol there, and another one over here. There we go. So those are pretty interesting. Alchemist's alt mode, though, feels like what Prime Bulkhead should have turned into for Legacy. Oh man, got some more water. Whew. Now, like I was saying, the alt mode feels like what Prime Bulkhead or Legacy Bulkhead should have turned into. No, when you get this guy, you expect Macadam. You know, you expect maybe Cyberverse, maybe IDW. Did Macadam ever show up in IDW? I'm not sure, actually. Either way, this is canonically Macadam, which I love. I love that the Hasbro designers, I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I do believe the Hasbro designers confirmed this was Macadam. Alchemist is Macadam. And if that was true, wow. Because this also means we have another official Macadam figure. Besides that Build-A-Figure that we had a few years ago of Cyberverse. Which is awesome! Because I love Macadams. The whole idea of just a Transformers bar is hilarious to me. I just realized I didn't do the turntable for this guy. The alt mode looks nice, as in beautiful dark shaded green, with this greenish pearl gold that we have here, along with this beautiful blue window. Along with that, we also have some kind of pearlescent gunmetal blue, like a blue gunmetal or gunmetal blue gray thing. It's gunmetal gray with a slight tint of blue. We'll just say that. And honestly, I like it. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Did not mean to burp like right into the camera. My God. Oh, wow. That did not feel good for me either. Yeah, so the figure looks nice. The underside is well put together. That's clearly his chest, but hey, what you gonna do? For the transformation, you just kind of want to push just a touch, then pull. Loosens everything up. Bring the legs down, like so. Then grab the arms and pull from each other. Push them down, just like that. Then tab together. Rotate the arms down. Flip out the fist, or flip out the fist, then rotate. Personal preference. Come down here. Untab the legs. Untab the legs. Flip down the feet. Then push these in. Those will complete the shins. Come back here. Flip this little piece up. These two slots are here. Have some tabs right here that they can go into. Just like so. Rotate the whole figure's waist around. Then come up to here. Pop this sucker open. And flip out that beautiful head sculpt. And I must say, Macadam here, or Alchemist here, has earned his spot in the great category. Because this figure is honestly jaw-dropping. Has a very clean profile. That back is clean as hell. The legs are beautiful. The arms are well sculpted. And the proportions are what I would expect out of a bartender. Let alone Alchemist Prime. Because if this is at Macadam here, come on, look at it. What is there not to like? Look at that face. That is a face that has seen shit and is happy with life still. This guy looks like he's just a little goober. You know, like you could go through the most horrific battle, and by the end, you could just see this guy's like, hey, so how's everyone doing? Got some energy on for everyone. How's everyone feeling? You all had a good fight? You all ready to relax a little bit? Alchemist, just by appearance alone, strikes me as one of those people. Get some more water in the system. Oh, man. But yeah, this figure's nice. I love him dearly. He's beautiful, well sculpted. Every piece, detail, and just paint app is wonderful. So, with that being said, let us go into the next figure. And the next figure in our great category isn't a Transformer at all, but instead, a NECA figure. Now, a lot of you probably don't know what the Evil Dead is. This particular figure here is a character called Ash. This character is from my damn childhood. I grew up with the Evil Dead franchise at a very young age. My mother was a horror fanatic when I was younger. And just by the nature of that, she got me into a lot of horror stuff. Children of the Corn, The Walking Dead, stuff like that. And one of those horror things was The Evil Dead. The Evil Dead franchise is no. He usually stands up a lot better than this, but he's on a moving base this time. The Evil Dead franchise, though, is one that Christ, man, stand. The Evil Dead franchise is one that I grew up with a lot. Yep, there he goes. This particular iteration is from the Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead film. There's, I think, 5 of them now? Because the one that I grew up watching was The Army of Darkness, the more comedy horror. But Evil Dead 2 and Evil Dead 1 is where the real horror was. Then I think there's 2 new films. Then there's a Stars series that I think is like 3 seasons long that I want to watch so badly right now. But I don't got the money for that. I say it's expensive. But this particular figure is one of my favorites that I got recently. Because the articulation's a little in some spots. But it's my first figure of Ash. And honestly, it's nice having this. He looks great. The head sculpt looks just like the actor, which is nice. He poses well. He has a ball joint at the head, rotation at the arms. He has your basic posing. He has everything that you'd want out of a human action figure. He has a thigh swivel, ball joint, rotation at the knee even. I say he has all these different points of articulation. And that's just nice. Got some alternate heads in here. We got like open shock, like, ooh, what'd you say? Then, oh, damn. That one was a little hard to pull off. Then we got the base head that he came packaged in, which looks nice. Along with that, he came with a few alternate hands. This is the base hand he came with it came equipped with. I kind of just stuck each hand onto an accessory. This one's clearly for the gun. And with the chainsaw being left, I just attached this hand onto everything like so, and it fits nicely, so yeah. Ash vs. the Evil Dead, though. This figure alone makes me want to get the rest of the Evil Dead figures. If not the rest, at least Ash from each of the 3 films, and maybe the show. Because this figure's beautiful, it's fun, it's well articulated, it's a joy to handle. I do not regret buying this in the slightest. And this figure is pretty old, too. This is a 2022 figure, I believe. And our box says, ages 17 and up. Ooh, I'm not 17. I'm going to be in a little while soon, though. Damn, time catches up with you. But I know you're all here for Transformers. I just wanted to gush a little bit about this guy, because it's a great figure. So, wanted to put him in the great category. But with that all being said, y'all are here for Transformers, so let's get back into that. Alrighty. The next figure in the great category is Prima. Primo was the first, or no, actually, Primo is the first Prime, canonically, but he would be the second Prime I got my hands on. With that being said, though, Prima has quite a few accessories, that being 3. He has the Matrix of Leadership, the hilt for the Star Saber, and the Star Saber itself. There you go. And they all connect together, just like this. And it looks lovely. Put that off to the side. Give you a little bit of spinny action. The alt mode's nice. Rolls decently enough. Kind of reminds me of a Moon Cruiser, kinda. The robot mode is where this figure shines, though. Because, you know, every Transformer has a mode they shine in. Whether it be one of their alt modes or their robot mode. I mean, let's be honest, it's mainly the robot mode. Oh, there's 3mm ports on the side. That's odd. So I can just, like... Okay, I can just plug it into the 3mm port. That's weird. I've just realized that. Oh, fuck. My coat was hanging on the wall and it just fell. I had to hang off a translucent tack. So, of course, it broke. Let's just flip everything together. This figure's transformation is a little finicky at some points, but for the most part is honestly fun. I can't say I regret buying this guy. I paid full price for this guy. And honestly, oh shit, gotta make sure everything's together right. And honestly, besides him looking a little bland in some spots, he's a great figure. I highly recommend you guys get this guy. He's fun, he's beautiful looking, he's simple, he has a decently simple transformation. He feels good. I like him. You know? He's good for a first Prime. The only thing I don't like is that head sculpt. Looks weird. But besides that, literally everything else about him is just perfect. I like the rest of the build. He looks nice alongside his fellow Primes, and I have no complaints about him. So, with that being said, let's go into our next great figure. Our next great figure would be... Let's see. Oh, how have I not seen you yet? I'm blind. Commander Class Silverbolt. Silverbolt here, well, besides being a Commander Class, is fucking huge. But Silverbolt here is a souped up Concorde with all the extra bits, which if we remove, just brings them down to a normal Concorde, which is what we'll be mainly going over. We'll go over all this extra bits in just a moment. Silverbolt as a standalone figure here, though, is nice. The alt mode's solid. All the sculpt work on the top is beautiful. We don't talk about the underside, though. That's just clearly a robot's whole underside. The rest of the figure, though, is solid, though. I like it. The alt mode's nice. You know? Gonna do that transformation just a touch. We just shift you up, bring you out, and collapse. Open up the top right here. Fold you in. Flip these in right here and here, and fold up. And you just want to flip down the legs, flip that down, and flip out the heel. Same thing on the other side. Just like so. Pull this open. Flip out the arms. Now, the one thing I don't like about this are these antennas right here. Because trying to get them to fit inside this damn guy here is usually a real pain. But this time it went in seamlessly. Wow, lucky me. That's one of the rare times. Silverbolt's robot mode here is honestly jaw-dropping. Like, this is genuinely one of the most beautiful figures I've seen. I've never seen a more G1 accurate figure in my life. Well, I have. That would be 86 Prime, which we'll be getting into soon now. So we have a few of those guys to go over. This figure, though, is honestly gorgeous. The articulation, the posability, the sculpt work, the kibble management. The kibble management's a little eh. But literally everything else about this guy is nice. I genuinely enjoy how he looks. I I don't have a single complaint about this guy, honestly. He's nice. I like him. You know, he looks good to me. With that being said, though, we now have some extra things to go into. Those being all this extra stuff. These has its own little transformation. With it just being pretty simple. Now you just grab this off, like so. Put you down there, just like that. I believe you do this. Rotate these around, because these slots right here and here are going into all this little greebling. Just want to start pushing all this together. There you go. Bruh. There we go. Then you grab this piece and you just attach it on like that. This honestly looks like shit, which is why I usually flip this around, because at least then, you can just put them right there or something. Well, why would you give your enemies a step to stand on? You're giving them something just to jump on, then jump over. At least with this side, they have to try to actively climb over. You're giving your enemies a fucking step stool when you have it like this. Though it does make it easier for him to hold it, but that's not the main goal. The main thing you want to do with this, though, is obviously the combine mode and shit. Grab all this, start just transforming it, and this is where the main budget comes in. That's why I mainly refer to this as the Commander class Superion instead of Silverbolt. Because Silverbolt's nice and all, but let's be honest, the only reason why this is a Commander class is for the combined stuff. You're buying this for Superion. Silverbolt's just a bonus. And that's just how it is with all the combiners. You're not buying them all for, the individual figures. Maybe you are in some cases. Breakdown's appearance in Earthspark, made a lot of people want to just buy him by himself. That's why, besides the figures just being short packed, it was a major bitch just to find Breakdown. Because Breakdown was also short packed, I believe. Let's grab you. And I do believe he was short packed, because I only found him. I'm stuttering. I only ever saw him once in the wild. And that was in his Legacy box. Like the original Legacy line. So technically, he did release in year 1 of Legacy. But very few of those particular versions got out of there. I got him at my local Target in the Legacy box art. And I got him before Wild Rider. And if you guys know anything about the leg bots just for Menasor, those guys were a real pain to find anywhere, because people were upcharging them to hell and back. It wasn't until recently with the reissue of the Black Friday deals a few years ago with Wild Rider and Knockout, is when Wild Rider's price started going down a lot. Then, I believe with the reissue of Breakdown, his prices went down a little bit. Not by much, though. And trying to find a Breakdown at all is just a real pain. Unless you want the G2 one. Got some more water. Now, Superion here. He's nice. I like him. This figure's great. He's in the great category for a reason. I have no complaints with this guy. The figure's solid. It feels worth the money. I have no regrets buying this guy at all. It's genuinely fun to me. He poses well. He looks good. He's my son. Hello. So yeah, that's really it that I have to say about this guy. He's all in combined mode now. He looks wonderful. He's ready for that big thumbnail shot that I'll be getting with all these guys later. So yeah, pull him out now. Let's see, who's next? Who's next for our great category? Oh, I know. 1 second. Let's reattach that. MT, more than meets the eye. Wait, MTMTE. Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. This figure here, I just got today, actually. Or, I guess yesterday. I got this the 30th. And, honestly, I got him just because I got Megatron here. And I don't regret buying this guy at all. I can see why everyone likes this guy. He is a joy to handle. This makes me want to get the rest of the Gamer Edition figures again, like I was saying with Megatron. And honestly, I might. This guy feels great. He looks wonderful. He has a great part selection. He has 2 handles, and a handle extension. He has a battle axe that folds into a double-sided battle axe, or a full 2-headed battle axe, or just a sickle kind of head, then an axe head. Depends on preference. And it has a blast effect port on the top. He comes with a blaster. The figure's all mode is solid, Nothing here is coming off. The figure's a joy to handle, honestly. Untab everything back here. And here. Flip this out. Untab the arms underneath. Bring them out and down. Same thing on the other side. Flip these in. Flip down the feet. Push you in. Separate. And collapse that all together. Bam. Legs are done. And now that just leaves the upper body. Rotate the waist like I just did. Then want to come back to the front. Start untabbing everything up here. Just like so. Pull this up. Rotate. Collapse. Shift this entire piece upward. Push you in. Have that back out because we want to be able to rotate. Push you back in again. Then just push everything in together. And just like that, you have this absolutely killer alt mode. Or not alt mode, robot mode. Give Optimus his axe. Have that slide through the handle right there. Give him the end to that pole, just like so. Switch that arm out for a blaster. Plug the arm onto his ass, because it can do that. Get everything straightened out, make him look a little nice. Bring him to the middle. And look at him. He looks amazing. He feels great. I don't regret spending my money on this guy. He's in the great category because he is great. It's a genuine joy handling this guy. He feels wonderful. I have no regret buying him because there's no regret to have. He's fun. And honestly, he pairs well with our next figure. My next great figure being Gamer Edition Megatron, or More Than Meets the Eye Megatron. This guy has great accessories, a beautiful mace, an absolutely gorgeous tank mode. I have no regrets with any of my figures recently. This one being a gift from my brother. And honestly, I'm happy that I got this from him, because this made me realize I was missing out on some of these gamer figures. I got Gamer Optimus just to pair with this guy. Gamer Prime is absolutely a joy to handle. The alt mode's great. Let's go through this transformation real quickly. We pull this up. We just start untabbing the legs from the sides. Straighten the knees out and stuff. Start opening panels up. Flipping stuff out. Collapse, collapse, collapse. Straighten you out. Flip out. Flip down. Collapse, collapse, collapse. Flip out. Flip out, just like so. Same thing on this other foot. Straighten all the legs and junk out. Untab the arm. Flip out. Untab the other arm and flip out. Bring down. Rotate. Collapse. Go to the front. Collapse, just like so. Flip the fist out. Open up the other arm panel and flip out the other fist. Give him his mace, and bam! Just like that. A quick, intuitive transformation. I have no regrets buying this guy. I didn't buy him. I keep saying I have no regrets buying these figures on a lot of the figures I was gifted. But I am so happy to have these guys. They are a genuine joy to handle. Now, they're not our next category good, but these guys are beautiful. I love these guys. And honestly, let's bring in Prime here. These guys look great together. They belong together because they're from the same game together. And I love it. They look beautiful together. I love these figures. I'm so happy my brother gave me this, and I was able to go out and get this one yesterday. because these look beautiful together. I have no regrets buying these. They're gorgeous. So yeah, that's really it that I have to say for these guys. And now, let me get some more water here, because Christ, my throat's dry. Oh man, I lied. There's one more figure for the great category. There's one more figure for the greats, and that would be, let's see. Never mind, actually. There's no more figures for the great category. I thought there was. I was blind because I already did them. So, that leaves the amazing category. And who's more fitting than Legacy United Gears? This is one figure that I got near the middle part of January. I got some cash. I transferred it into a gift card, and then used that gift card to buy this guy off of Macari, because Macari has this system of gift cards recently that they introduced, but I used a Visa gift card, so potato here. This figure, though, looks gorgeous. He does so much right in such a small size, and this is what I expected out of Cosmos. I expected something beautiful out of Cosmos. Just for them to put it into Gears. Fucking Gears. The underside is beautiful. The back is fine. You know, yeah, you have an upside down chest plate. Who gives a damn? Look at everything else. He does everything beautifully. Fucking perfectly. Look at the lad. He's gorgeous. No, remove the blaster. Start the transformation. Flip these in right here and here. Untab. Flip down. Flip you out. Flip you out. Push in. Untap this. Push those in. Pull out. Pull down. Flip down. Flip down. Collapse. Give blaster. If anyone was going to get the Legacy Evolution Cosmos treatment, I would have expected it to be Gears. Because look at the guy. He looks so stupid. And yet they went so goddamn hard on this guy. He does so much right. The guy has the simplest transformation known to man, and yet he just packs it all away, looks beautiful while doing it, so casually. This one figure alone absolutely made the rest of Legacy United look like shit to me. Because, well, maybe not shit, but look lesser to me. Because this guy has killed it at a deluxe price. Has done the most of his budget. They had more budget to give all this beautiful detail from that one G1 episode. This figure has earned his title in my highest honors. He has earned his place in the greatest. And if I ever do a final video on my channel, I want it to be the greatest figures I've ever collected. Gears here would be top 5 easily. He kills it. I am proud to own this figure, and I'm so happy I got him for way below retail. I got this guy for $10. $10, brand new in box. I have never been happier in my life, and I got this guy for $10. I would have gladly paid retail price for this. I would have paid more for this. This figure, I could have seen getting absolutely scalped to shit instead of this guy. With how people described Cosmos, I would have expected the transformation we got out of Gears here to be on for Cosmos. You know, Cosmos does nothing special for me. Gears, on the other hand, does everything for me. He has great articulation. He has a butterfly joint, rotation, arms go out, 360, double elbow bend, 360 rotation at the wrist, 360 at the waist, legs go back far, up that far, out that far, 360 rotation, the double knee bend at the knees, head is fucking gorgeous. You know, he has all these points of articulation. Cosmos doesn't even get a wrist swivel. Gears has an extreme ankle pivot. He has all of this. Cosmos does so much right, but Gears does everything right. This quality and engineering prowess is what I expected out of Cosmos with the overhypedness. Cosmos was overhyped for me. When I got him, I was happy with him. He's good. But Gears crushes the competition. And this figure, this mold, gets me so damn excited for that upcoming Swerve next year. Because I will buy that figure first day. When I see pre-orders go up, you bet your ass I'm going to be one of the first people ordering that fucker. Because Swerve is gorgeous. Already, I love that figure. I love how it looks. I love what they're doing with it. I'm definitely buying that. Because he's going to look so nice along Gears here. Sorry for that quick tangent. It just... Look at him. He does so much right. Ugh, need more water. Now, our next figure for the excellent category, fucking perfection, you know, is Age of the Primes, Vortex. Vortex here is what I expect out of a combiner limb bot from the modern days. You know, when we had, let's see, he's under everything. There he is. When we got Bone Crusher here, no, they're both right arms here. When we got Bone Crusher, he's fine. Okay, I accept him as an arm. But then we got this, like not even 3 months later. Then we get this, and this guy kills it as a just figure standalone. You know, he doesn't do as much as Bone Crusher does. Admittedly, Bone Crusher becomes the whole arm joint and everything, while Vortex here, he just clips onto a frame. But honestly, I don't mind. You know, Bone Crusher is a traditional combiner limb. Vortex isn't. But Vortex is a much better figure because of it. Now, do I wish Vortex was traditional combiner limb? Yes, I do. But on the other hand, I'm so happy he's not, because if he was, we run the risk of getting what we got with Bone Crusher here. And Vortex here is gorgeous. The colors look great. The sculpt work is beautiful. I have overall just no complaints about Vortex here. He is probably one of the greatest figures I've had in a while. You know, he's not Gears level of great, but he's up there. That's the reason why he's made it into this final category. He fucking kills it as a figure. The materials do him well. The design does him well. The articulation and posability do him fucking beautifully. He's wonderful to handle. Like real hand candy with this guy. I love him. And if you guys just have the spare change around, Vortex is still pretty cheap. No, maybe not as much now, because we're getting more of the combiner limbs for Bruticus now, so he's probably going up in price a little more. But I did hear he's getting a reissue, so go for that. You know? I actively insist that you guys get this guy. Because he's lovely. He is absolutely amazing. I have no complaints with this guy. He's beautiful. He's well put together. Everything feels nice, solid, well, mostly. Like I said in his review, the knees are a little ass, but like, he feels worth the money to me. And out of this year total, like, besides the figures I got this year, Age of the Primes' deluxes, Vortex has to be like one of the greatest. He kills it. So yeah, with that being said, let's go on to our next great figures of this year. With our next one being Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime. This figure was gifted to me right at the start of this year. My brother gave me this guy January 2nd, because he found him at Fred Meyer for a decent price. And he knew that this was a figure that I was interested in. And thanks to him, I have this guy now. This figure's alt mode is kind of junk, mainly just back here. Everything else in the front's fine. The scaffolding back here, though, really brings it down for me. But that's not why we talk about this guy. We talk about this guy for the killer robot mode. So, let's get into robot mode. Because the robot mode alone is why this figure's in the great category. Because it's fun. You know, this figure is fun to handle. He feels great. My brother has a KO of this guy that uses die-cast in a lot of the construction. And that figure is gorgeous. And that's cheaper than this guy. But, 1 second, I need to make sure I don't break anything here. I don't know what I was going to say. I said but there's no but to be had. The figure is just superior. It has die cast. It feels good. And it's a knockoff of this guy. So I really don't know why he bought me this. I'm grateful that he did. But this figure is still excellent. So let's get into that. The robot mode on this guy is honestly really nice. It's well put together. You know, the only main issue I have with this figure as a whole is how the arms articulate and the alt mode. But even in the end, that's very minor complaints for me, because the rest of the figure is solid. It feels nice to me. You know? I have no issues with this guy. He looks good. He feels great. No complaints to be had. Mounted the sword onto his wrist. Flipped the hand in for his micro blaster, because this is clearly not the same one that we saw in the trailer. Look at this guy. He clearly looks like the Rise of the Beast model. Ooh. And honestly, that's what I like a lot about this guy. Because the Rise of the Beast design was one I already liked a lot. The truck mode looked great. So, it'd be expected that the robot mode would too. And honestly, it does. It looks great. Poses well. You know, the legs go way up. Only that far back, though, because the hinge or the rotation for the legs is mounted right here instead of right here. So you only get that far back. But you get a killer front kick. Like, that goes way up. The figure just feels great as is. You know, great rotations, great joints. Feels great. I'm saying great a lot, but that's just how it is. This figure is top tier. He's great. He's excellent. He is amazing. The details on this guy are beautiful. My only gripes is the blaster's too small. The truck mode is a little ass. The way the arms move at the shoulders, I don't like. And there's so much gray plastic. Those are my 4 issues. Besides those 4 issues, this guy's perfect. I love how this guy feels. He looks great. And he's earned his spot up here. Honestly, he has to me. So yeah. Move him off to the side for now. Well, I guess I put this one off long enough. Let's get this one over with so we can focus on the others properly. My next figure in the excellent category, you know, the best of the best, is Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. This figure here is one I got really early into January. No, not really early. I got this guy, I think, January 5th. So, just a little bit before, or a little bit after this guy. This figure is all that. He has honestly earned the title as the greatest mainline Optimus Prime known to man. And I see why. This figure does so much. You know, with the trailer in here and all that, comes with all these extra accessories and stuff. Like, bro, they did not need to go that hard on this. But yet they did. They gave him his roller. They gave him his anti-aircraft gun. They gave him all of his accessories. No, not this. I made this. So we're putting that off to the side. You know, this figure is wonderful. He comes with all of this. 2 blast effects. His Energon Axe. His Ion Blaster. Underneath here, on this painted grill piece, which we need to open, he comes with 2 blast effects for his truck mode. He feels great. You know, this figure is solid. You know, quick transformation. We flip those in. Go just all around this guy. Like, this figure as a whole is an absolute joy to handle. He is the G1 Optimus Prime. He's the greatest G1 Optimus Prime I'd say we've ever gotten. Now, he's not the greatest figure of all time in Transformers, but for G1 Optimus Prime, he kills it. He is what I want. And because they released this figure, that puts a really high bar. There are going to be very few figures to outclass this guy, in my personal opinion at least. Maybe some people prefer other iterations or other G1 Optimus Primes out there, which honestly, I don't blame you. I see a lot of people that love the Earthrise Optimus Prime. I don't blame you guys. I had that mold for quite a while. He broke down, his thigh joint dissolved on my copy, which really sucked because I loved that figure. But I get it. That figure's good. It's a good mold. The ass tires kind of surprised me. That's the main reason that I didn't really like it too much. I still loved the mold dearly. I just didn't like the ass flaps, which were removable on a clip, but I didn't know that till he broke. But look at this guy. You're telling me that is not a killer Optimus Prime? He looks great. He has a bit of a backpack, but that's fine. It doesn't ruin anything for me. He looks good. I don't mind. He looks great. I love him. I got this as a birthday gift to myself. I got money, or I got my Christmas money, and with that, I bought this guy. And I have to say, I don't regret the purchase at all. Now, if you're going to get yourself an 86 Optimus Prime, be prepared to shell out a lot of money, because people ask a lot for this guy, which sucks. But I also get it. It's 86 Prime at a Commander class price point. You already had to pay a lot to buy him at retail, so it makes sense that everyone else is going to charge just a shit ton for him on the aftermarket, which is lame, but I get it. Aftermarket, market. So, it's just the nature of the world. But look at him. He looks good. He looks great with his other his Octopi. These are all the Optimus Primes I own. All from different iterations. I have this guy because he's a gift. I bought this personally for TF1. I bought this to pair with Megatron. These guys look great. I love them all. They're fun. But 86 Prime just does something that I love. I love what he does. And I love everything this guy does. He feels great. He's solid. And I do highly suggest him. He's fun. Now, our next figure in the excellent category is Transformers Legacy Evolution, Nova Prime. This was another figure I got this year that I just really liked. Honestly, he's been one I've been trying to get for a while. I missed out on the deal I missed out on the Amazon deal, and because of that, I regretted it dearly. But that's just the nature of everything here. The figure looks nice though. I like it. The truck mode is killer. Now let's bring these up. Separate all the trailer bits from the core robot. The main reason why you're buying this, though, is for all the Power Master gear and stuff for the Nova Prime. But honestly, I like the core robot a lot, too. It feels nice. The core robot has some lovely colors on him. He looks good. I like it. The core robot does a fine enough job at being, a companion piece. Because let's be honest, without all this extra gear, that's all this really is. It's just a minor mode to a super mode. I like it a lot. It's well put together. It's fun. I don't expect much out of these guys. So when I get one I genuinely enjoy, I hold it pretty high. That's why I like Nova Prime a lot. Nova Prime does something really interesting with the molds. I wanted Galaxy Upgrade Prime so badly. I missed out on him once and regretted it dearly ever since. So when I found out we were getting a retool out of that for Nova Prime, I was like, oh hey, perfect opportunity. I just never bought it because I never had the money or time to spare to go into Amazon or go into anywhere else and purchase him. So for all that being said, finally getting a chance to get him and getting him for retail price too on the aftermarket, which is an absolute rare thing nowadays, because Nova Prime is just, even with the reissues, people are still charging ridiculous prices for the guy. The guy I was buying from bought his off of the Big Bad Toy Store and bought one for himself. And because of that, well, he was selling it for retail. And I got this guy for retail. And look at him. He's gorgeous. He's absolutely stunning. I've never been happier with a purchase in my life. Well, that's a lie. There's definitely a few figures I've been happier with. This guy, for example. But he's honestly really nice. I don't regret purchasing this guy in the slightest. I paid slightly over retail, taxes and shipping, you know. And honestly, I won't ever regret buying this guy. He's a genuine joy to handle. He looks beautiful. He's gorgeous. So yeah. Now, our next figure is... let's see. Oh yeah, he's right next to me. Leader Class, Age of the Primes, Megatronus. This figure is here purely because, well, it's Megatronus. And also because he's fun. He's well put together, mostly. He has no major flaws to me. He looks great in robot mode. The tank mode has a lot to be worked on. You know, some parts just don't like to tab in, apparently. What the hell? You know, the tank mode's a little eh. You know, like, you got a lot of hollow spaces here. Which really sucks, considering that people are asking for ridiculous prices on the guy. I got this at my local GameStop for retail price, which was nice. The rest of the figure, though, is honestly great looking. He feels great and looks great. I don't regret purchasing him retail at all. He's a gorgeous figure. This figure alone makes me excited for the TF1 Primes when we start getting more of those. Because we already got Alpha Trion. You know, not many people liked that, and I don't blame him. You know, he's very compromised in a lot of spots. The one thing I don't like about this guy, though, is his materials. His materials let this design down. Because a lot of the parts on this guy do not feel great. They feel good. You know, they feel durable enough. But a lot of the parts here, they're just not it for me. Like, he looks great. He looks great. But his hand feel is very weird feeling, you know? Well, maybe you don't know. No, maybe some of you guys don't have this guy. But one complaint I've heard a lot recently as well is the feel. And I can't agree more. You know, for the most part, he looks beautiful. He looks the part. But he doesn't feel the part. Oh, shit. I love this song. Interlude by Larry Owens. This song is used for Bob Ross. Sorry, y'all didn't want to hear that. Like I was saying, Megatronus here, though, is okay. He looks beautiful, but he feels okay. The materials let him down. The design is jaw-dropping. It's gorgeous. It's either Dreamwave or IDW. I can't remember which batch of comic writers did this one. But this design is gorgeous. Like, I have no problems with the design. He kills it in that department. But he doesn't feel great. And that's my one issue. Besides that, though, this figure has earned his place in the top, just the top figures of the year, of this year that I've gotten. He's earned his place here. Because he looks great and feels okay. He feels okay. He can hold a pose. He looks intimidating. He looks good. He does a good job. I like it. But that's really it. I don't know much about the Fallen too much. I don't know much about Megatronus. I got him because everyone else, I know for a fact, would have charged ridiculous prices for him. And I just wanted to get my hands on one. Because I'm a completionist. You know? I got Solus. Then I got Prime. I was like, well, might as well just complete the Primes. So I got Megatronus. Excuse me. Whew, needed that water. But yeah, Megatronus here is good. I like him a lot. He's earned his place in the top few. So, yeah, there's really not much else to say about him. He looks beautiful. He feels great. No, he doesn't. That's a lie. He does not feel great. But he looks the part. You know, I'll say he's able to strike a killer pose. Get him in a few of those. We'll get him into a pose so y'all don't feel like I'm just shitting on Megatronus, even though he's one of the top figures of this year for me. To be fair, I'm also missing out on 86 Megatron, so I know for a fact this guy would have been swapped out from 86 Megs, because I love what they're doing with 86 Megatron. They include his original alt mode as an accessory, and then then he turns into a tank. Yeah, the tank's a little wonky looking, but hey, you at least get the best of both worlds. You get an officially legal 86 Megatron that comes with a mini scale of his alt mode. Is it the alt mode? It's not exact. You know, it's hard to get a Walter P38 into that small of a scale for a figure, but he looks good. Now, our next figure is 86 Voyager class Mixmaster. Oh, he's rolling. Okay. Thank you, good sir. Okay. Well, we'll have you there for now. This figure is... Okay, I will have you sideways. This figure is lovely. He is the best Constructicon. I changed my mind. Long Haul second place, Scrapper is third, Bone Crusher is worst, Hook is right in front of Bone Crusher. So yeah. Mixmaster is the best Constructicon out of the 86 set. I don't even have Scavenger, but I already know Scavenger is an 86 Mixmaster. Mixmaster does a lot of new things for, well, Mixmaster. First of all, he has like the proper alt mode, which I like. So that weird Combiner Wars shit that they pulled, that thing did not look good in the slightest. The rest of the figure feels nice though. Let's say he transforms quite well. And honestly, I have no complaints with the rest of the alt mode. He looks good. 86 Devastator was a long time coming, so when we finally got him, it was like, oh, hey! The rest of you look kind of but I love what you're doing with Mixmaster. That was my first reaction when I saw Mixmaster leaked on eBay. And honestly, he's killing it. He's eating that shit up. Take what I said about Scrapper and tenfold it. Because I already liked Scrapper a lot. Mixmaster, though, first of all, that combiner ratchet joint, a lot smoother. You could have definitely put a waist swivel on that one. But Mixmaster does everything that Scrapper does, but way better. I like the colors more. We got more purple in this. We got that red block that Scrapper had. To be fair, I do like the look of Scrapper just a touch more, because we have some more silver on him. But even, like, just together, these guys look great. But we're not talking about them together. We're talking about them individually. And Mixmaster here is beautiful. I have no regrets buying this guy. I bought him the same day I ordered him the same day I ordered him the same day I ordered Hook and Long Haul. And I already loved those guys a lot, so getting this guy was nice. It was a nice surprise to get him. And honestly, I'm happy I got him. I have no regret in purchasing this figure. I love him dearly. He's nice, he's solid, and you'll hear more about it when I go into his own review later on this year. Or I guess next year. Because today's New Year's Eve! Our next figure for... Oh my god, it's this song. Okay. Our next figure is Leader Class Age of the Primes Onyx Prime. And to say the least, one second, let's remove the accessories, put them together. To say the least, this figure blows Megatronus out of the water when it comes to just quality. This figure feels wonderful. He feels way more sturdy than Megatronus ever could. And that sucks to say, because Megatronus is an absolute beast of a character. But coming from the beast himself right here, it blows Megatronus out of the water. The quality on this guy is so much better. The materials used, improve him so much more. And his overall design here is just killer. I love Onyx Prime's design. They've done a beautiful job. They've outdone themselves with Onyx Prime here. I could not be happier with how Onyx looks. Everything here looks just gorgeous. Let's see. We'll get you tabbed in right there. Straighten you out. Lift the shoulder pad up. Onyx Prime, though, is one of those figures that's very unique for his design and transformation, because he is, from what I believe, is the very first Centaur Transformer. You know, he has a Centaur mode. We're only going with his main robot mode because, well, it's his main robot mode. Any other situation, I'd be transforming into the Centaur mode. And honestly, Onyx Prime here kills. He, like, absolutely eats this up. I love everything that Onyx is doing. And with the triptych mask piece right here, too, it's gorgeous. This figure is everything that I wanted out of an Onyx Prime. When I heard we were getting the 13 Primes, Nexus, Amalgamus, and Onyx Prime were the 3 Primes I was the most enthralled by. Megatronus was a close fourth. You know, I was excited to see how he'd come out. But I was really interested in Nexus, Amalgamus, and Onyx. And we already see Amalgamus. He is a definite buy for me. I see that sucker in store, I will gladly steal that thing. Trust me. If I don't have money, Amalgamus is coming out in my pockets in pieces. I love Amalgamus, and I love how he looks. I am actively going to keep an eye out for that sucker. Quintus, I'm not too sure how I feel about Quintus, especially with the clear plastic lower half, but I have faith he'll hold up. But Onyx Prime here, oh my god, he looks beautiful. Oh, let's get some of the other Primes that I have here next to him. You know, like, let's get a whole look with all the Primes I have. Let's see. Got Alchemist. Alright, we're just missing one more. There you go. Fix that. Like, looking at Onyx Prime with the rest of the Primes here, it is amazing. Let's see, do I have any others? I need to make sure. Nope. Well, except for Tryon, but you'll see him in just a second. Like, comparing Onyx Prime with the rest of the Primes here, though, he is gorgeous. But now, that leaves the final bot of the year. Then we'll go in order of my most favorite when it comes to this final tier. But this is our final bot for the excellent category. He isn't the greatest. That role for the best figure of the year goes to Gears, but he is second place. Alpha Trion here does so much right for me. Where Onyx Prime does everything else, Alpha Trion fills in just a lot that I wanted. Alpha Trion is one of those bots I've been trying to get for a very long time. I wanted an Alpha Trion design for years. And with the War Dawn 2-pack that released a few years back, I tried my hardest to get that thing. It is so hard to get that version, though. It's very, very expensive to get that Alpha Trion. So, I just gave up. I just waited till we get a new version of Alpha Trion, because let's be honest, there's always going to be new versions of characters. It's going to take a while for us to get new Primes again, let's be honest. It's going to take a really long time. But we got new ones eventually. And we got this new Tryon. And honestly, I'm loving this. I am eating this up. Tryon here is gorgeous. I love all the details. Everything on this figure, I appreciate dearly. I've never been so happy with a design in my life until I got my hands on Tryon here. If I can flip that heel out. There you go. Like I said, no nails, so it's hard to get all those parts. Alpha Tryon here, though, is beautiful. I have never been happier with a design in my life until I got my hands on this figure. Gears crushes it. But Tryon is that close second for a reason. He is gorgeous. I have never regretted buying this figure. And just like Gears, I don't think I ever will. This figure is fun. Look at him. He's beautiful. He has a beautiful head sculpt. He feels great. I have no issues with him. He's just genuinely wonderful to me. And I don't think I ever will have issues with him. Because he's just that fun. You know, it's like, oh, how fun could a librarian be? It's like, pretty damn fun, apparently. You know? He's great. I love him. He poses well. He feels wonderful. And, yeah. That's really all I have to say. So, in order of figures, Tryon is second place. Gears is first in the excellent category. Onyx Prime is third. 86 Prime is fourth. Let's see. Let's grab... Where is he? Nova Prime is our fifth place. Megatronus is sixth. And just compared to everyone else, Mixmaster is seventh. So, in total, this year has been killer for me. I've loved this year so much. We've gotten a lot of really good figures out of this year. And honestly, besides a few of them, I do not regret buying any of these. And I'm happy with this. With that being said, that's really all I have to say for today's video. So, I'll see you all in a while. I'm going to take a break. 31 videos in a row. You know, not all of them were done in multiple days, or not. There wasn't a new video every day. My apologies. No, it just happens. But damn. I'm tired now. It's 12 o'clock. Or no. Let's see. It's 11:45. I'm ready to head to bed. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, cheers to you, man. Means a lot. But that's it. I'll see you all next year. Thank you for your time. And this is Monke signing off. I'll see you like mid-January or so. I'm taking a long break. So yeah. Y'all take care though. Like I said, thank you for your time. This has meant a lot. Goodbye.